what's good, people? I'm Chris. It's my cousin Diarmani, and we're gonna be talking about movies in our show, Mad Movies. Okay, so with Mad Movies, we watch so many movies. We said it's about time we start just monetizing this. So, um, yeah, it don't matter what the movie is, we'll watch it. It could be a chick flick, it could be a dick pic, but we gonna watch it.
Oh,
So first one we're gonna talk about is this new release on Netflix called Glass Onion. It's a sequel to Knives Out. If you've seen Knives Out, then this is that's a whodunit type of film. Okay, you wanna tell your thoughts on Knives Out first, my brother?
I think I'm the one that told you to watch the original Knives Out. I want to go ahead and take credit
You
for
put
that.
me on Knives Out. You
Yeah, I
did. You
mean,
did.
the two of us have always been into the mystery type of movies, suspense type of movies, and this one was quickly one of my favorites. So I needed him to watch it so we could talk about it. And you're really looking forward to the second one too. So we should be able to produce a lot of good content for you just off of these two movies alone. So, but yeah.
Yeah. So in the first one, we had what's her name? My wife. Her name is
Your wife.
yeah, Anna De Armas. Yeah, she gonna need to be De Legis because she gonna need a new pair when I'm done with her. Ooh.
I really thought you was gonna have a Chris Evans comment, but I'll leave that alone.
Anyway, Knives Out. She a nurse and she's taking care of this like rich writer. I think he an author,
Right.
and it's his 85th birthday, and somehow she swapped the medications, and so he like, hey, I ain't gonna hold you. My family, they kind of crazy. They gonna say that you did this to get some money, especially because I put you in my will for whatever reason. Did she know she was in the will before or
He
after?
had no idea she was in the will.
So dude took a knife and cut his neck open. Now this in the first 5 minutes, so I'm watching. I'm like, what this got to be? I said it can't be a whodunit mystery if he did it to himself. I watched him do it, but then it starts rolling in. It starts rolling in. So then uh, they come in, three detectives. They say, well, this cut and dry. You seen him cut himself? He cut himself. He dead. But Benoit Blanc, Daniel Craig,
Yeah.
007, he say, there's more to this case than meets the eye.
I
And
don't know if he
and
said it
that
like that,
he was right though.
but
He
right. I
was right. It
mean,
was more to that case.
it was definitely a lot more to the case that none of us saw coming.
So after that, they start investigating to see like who would have had motive to like swap the medications because Benoit Blanc, at first everybody was like it was her, it was her, it was her, and I think he did something to where she couldn't actually see the medicines that she was given, but she had messed with the medicine so many times that her hands had muscle memory that she didn't even have to look at the label. She was just like, could be purple, could be pink, depending on how you mix that shit.
Yeah.
But she knew, and he was like, you ain't even peep, but you just gave me the right medicine without even looking at the label. And she was like, damn, I guess I did. So he was like, you couldn't have killed. Somebody switched the labels and tried to set you up. Now we gotta figure out who did that, and that's where that Knives Out went.
Before we get too far into Glass Onion, Knives Out is still my favorite. I just want to go ahead and put that in there now so y'all know. Um,
And you don't have to see Knives Out to watch Glass Onion.
no, you do
So
not.
would you recommend that they watch Glass Onion before Knives Out, or do you think they won't even watch Knives Out after they watch Glass Onion? I think they will watch it, but if I were to watch it in order of good, like to best, I would watch Glass
We
Onion
were talking
first
about this. We were talking about
because
this. Yeah, because I think if Glass Onion was the prequel to Knives Out, the chances of me
you
being
wouldn't have
as
watched it.
eager to have seen it as I was to go see Glass, because everybody knew Glass Onion was coming to Netflix, but I was such a huge fan of the first one. I'm like, I'm going to watch it in a theater, even though it's only finna be in here for 2 weeks and then be free a month from now, and I still went to go see it. Had the roles been flipped, I wouldn't have done that.
All right, so Glass Onion. Glass Onion doesn't have any recurring characters except Benoit Blanc,
Right.
Daniel Craig. So in this one, we got billionaire Miles Braun, who invites all his friends, power stars like Dave Batista. Shit, that's the only power star. I had to look.
I mean, no, 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 no. We're not
Uh,
gonna do that to Edward
Edward
Norton. We're
Norton.
not gonna do that to Edward Norton because
Edward Norton ain't been
everybody,
relevant
listen,
since he lost the
look,
Hulk.
everybody hate this man, Edward Norton. You know,
Because he lost the Hulk.
he's in so many movies as the antagonist. We just not even gonna roll past him as if he just some regular
I
old
know him
person.
as the Hulk.
Right.
Take back what I said. It's a lot of powerhouses in here. We got Daniel Craig, Edward Norton, Janelle Monáe, uh, Madeline Klein.
Yeah,
That's big.
there's a lot of heat in here.
If you seen if
I
you seen the
definitely
Outer
wouldn't have led with
Banks,
Dave Batista from WWE.
Dave Batista. First of all, Dave Batista has been in several Netflix originals. The one with
Is
the
that not
Army
the
of the
problem
Undead or
though?
something. He's
Okay,
a fucking
what
guardian
is
of
he
the
what is he
galaxy. He's the only one
See,
still in
that's
Marvel on here.
right. So they took Chris Evans from
He's been in more
they
blockbusters than
took
anybody.
Chris Evans as the Marvel character from the
Uh,
first one and replaced him with
a
Batista
background Batista. I
as the
mean,
Marvel
what's his
character
name?
in this one.
He's Drax.
He is probably my least favorite actor this entire movie.
Let me just give them who these people are. So Daniel Craig is Benoit Blanc, the rock star detective. Also, this is during COVID times, so they had integrated that. But I don't know why they integrated COVID times when this came out in 2022 and they went back to 2020 in the film there, like 2020, and everybody had masks on. But they Daniel Craig was the Benoit Blanc. Edward Norton is pretty much Elon Musk.
Could we really even is Elon Musk a fair assessment of him?
Elon Musk is actually smart.
Right.
uh, Edward Norton in this film, Miles Braun, he pretty much just stole everybody's ideas and became rich by using
So
other
let's just say
people.
he's
He
one of
knows how to puppet master
these
innovators.
cryptocurrency, uh, new money type of individuals who got investors to invest a lot of money in what it was he represented, and he didn't even represent what it was he was representing.
We got to tell them. So basically, it started off with um, Cassandra is she's they were partners. She got cut out of the loop. He wanted to like do some crazy natural gas thing that was gonna blow up the planet, and she was like, "Nah, I'm not with that. I'm leaving." And he ended up cutting her out altogether. And so then it looked like she committed suicide, but in reality, he had like slipped her some pills.
Right.
So her sister, who was her exact twin, was like, "Yeah, my sister ain't kill herself. This is fishy," because she had just like found some proof trying to get her company back, and all the other characters who had lied on who had perjured themselves was about to like go to jail for perjury based on the evidence she got. So they all like sprint to her house. Miles Braun was the only one like who had actually been seen leaving the house when they all got there.
Right.
So
The sister, she's there, and pretty much she's trying to piece together what might have happened because she just cannot fathom the idea of her sister killing herself. And in doing so, she stumbles across this box, which, you want to talk about it throwing you for a loop. It was quite the loop to get that goddamn box open. Can we talk about that?
okay, so at the beginning, Miles sends everybody a puzzle box. It's just wood, and each it's like at least 20 different puzzles to open up the box and get this invitation. But he sends it to Dave Batista, who is what was his name?
Duke Cody.
Yeah, Duke Cody. His scientist, I forget his name. Uh, his he got a senator under his belt. He got like a fashion girl under her belt. Anywho, all these people, they're parts of the world, and they're trying to figure out this box. They finally get it open. It's an invitation to his private island for the weekend. But for some reason, Cassandra, Andy, who's dead, got a box. So we think. So they all pop up to the island, and Daniel Craig pops up too because he says he gets a box. But then we find out that Andy, twin sister, got the box. Didn't know how to open it, so she just hit it with a hammer.
Right.
Took the box to Benoit Blanc, said, "Hey, I think my sister has some foul play. I need you to go investigate at this island. Here's the invitation." And he's like, "I need you to come because your sister's death has not been released to the public yet. So nobody knows that you're dead. So you could just take her spot since y'all look alike, and then you can distract them while I search for clues. And so that's how this movie starts really getting into the nitty gritty. And this isn't found out until like halfway through. So the first half we sit here like, corny joke, double entendre.
Right.
All right.
Honestly, the opening of the box might have been the most exciting thing for me in that movie. Um, for the first hour and a half, at least. Honestly. Um, but there was still a lot of good stuff in there that kind of made you think. Um, I just, I just wanted a lot more from it. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, I after seeing the first one and coming to this one, you really go from being on the edge of your seat the entire movie to watching this one where you're like, and again, maybe that's because they were really trying to emphasize, because even Block, he knew something was off. He when he solves it, he's upset at how simple it was, and literally is saying like, "You're dumb. There's no way I let this take this long."
Yeah.
Right?
So we'll get to that. We'll get to that part. So with the death of Duke, so that's the death in this movie.
Second one, they do a whole charades type of death as part of the invitation, but they have to come there, and that's the whole
Yeah,
invitation is for them to come there and figure out who
murder mystery.
who
Yeah,
killed him.
and he was pissed off because Benoit Blanc was like, based on the trajectory of the angle of the projectile, it's a triangulation. Birdie did it because we got all these clues. And dude was pissed. He was like, "You're a jackass. You came to my party. It took me all this time to set up, and you solved it like that." And he was like, "Well, I'm not here for that. I'm actually here because why would you invite all these people that would want to have a reason to kill you to a murder mystery? Why would you put that idea in their head?" Because he had some leverage over every character in there that could like ruin their lives because he was manipulative and power hungry.
Right.
But the thing was, the first death, I mean, because Andy was the first death with the sleeping pills, but you don't know that until after the first screen death. So the screen death is Dave Bautista, Duke. He drinks a drink and he has a allergic reaction and dies. He's like choking. You think he's been poisoned.
Right.
My question to you: did you see, the him hand Dave Bautista a drink, or did you see Dave Bautista pick up a drink? Because I seen him hand him a drink from the beginning,
I
and
swear
I
I
was
thought I
thinking
seen
the whole
him.
time they played
Yeah,
it
I
back.
swear I definitely think he handed it to him.
Yeah, because I seen it. I was like, oh, he finna kill him because Dave Bautista was the only one who saw him kill coming back from Andy's house after she died.
I
So
mean, that
I had
not to
seen
me,
him.
and maybe he had got impatient, right? Because he could have been trying to be so smart that he invited them there. He wanted Dave Bautista to catch him and his girl having a sexual, intercourse, and then be so enraged that he had no choice but to kill him in a self-defense type of thing before anybody would have even got to that drink. You know what I'm saying? Like,
And that is what I thought because first thing he said was like all these Daniel Craig, Benoit Blanc, he went up there, was like, you put this idea in everybody's head, all these people got motive. He was like, Duke doesn't have a motive. He says, yes, he does. He was like, oh, he doesn't know that I'm fucking this girl. He's like, yes, he does. Next thing you know, he handed him a drink.
right.
Now, Dave Bautista, a big motherfucker, I would have handed him a drink too. I
I mean, yeah, that's probably the easiest way to get rid of somebody. But I think Dave was just there for a good time, and that was very clear the entire movie. Like he was the airhead of the cast. Like everything was just flying past his head, and maybe he was playing stupid or his character was actually stupid. But it was just kind of rough to see his character be a part of the movie, and I didn't have any issues with his character no longer being in the movie. Like I said.
he was kind of annoying. He was like comedic relief in a movie that was already forced and funny. So I was like,
Right. I agree.
But they did a sleight of hand. They tried to do a sleight of hand and say, "Oh, he picked up my drink. Oh, he picked up my drink. Somebody tried to kill me." He tried to play it off like everybody in the house was trying to kill him, knowing damn well that he handed him his beverage. And
Yeah, but
She
I
would
mean,
tell
it could
him
have,
like the
but he could have been right because I think it was what honey in it or something like that because he was allergic to either like
pineapple.
pineapple. So maybe he liked his drink with pineapple in it.
Now that is some plausible deniability. You could be like, yeah, I like
You
pineapple,
know,
but all the other stuff, nah.
yeah. But again, if he was smart, that's how he would have went about it. I like a pineapple in my drink. Oh, he took my drink. But he didn't think out anything the entire time the whole movie was going on. All he did was take everybody else's ideas and the whole structure of this beautiful mansion on this island was constructed of this stuff, his whole product that is extremely flammable.
Yep.
You know,
So,
it,
um, so Dave Batista carried a gun on him the whole time. It was stupid annoying, and all he did was shoot it all the time. The gun goes missing, and then all the lights go out, and everybody's running around trying to get from point A to point B. And in this scene, this before you know that Andy is Andy's sister Helen. Is that her name?
I think so. I think so.
Yeah, her twin sister. So Helen is playing Andy. Keep up, y'all. And she's running through all the when the lights are out. She's running to every room trying to find evidence, like ransacking it. And she finally meets up with Benoit Blanc. He's like, she's like, Benoit, you gotta help me. What's going on? What's going on? And she gets shot. So somebody has a gun, has Dave Bautista's gun, and shoots her. And she ends up. Um, that's when they go in back and talk about like how she met Benoit Blanc and the whole backstory. So up until then, you don't even know that she's the twin sister. She gets shot. You think she's dead because it's like blood all over and stuff. But then they go back and show how she met Benoit Blanc prior, and they set up this whole ruse to try to
Yeah.
see who set them up like this, who murdered her sister.
Yeah, no, I really like kind of how they put that element of surprise in there. Um, and I guess in a way she was kind of wearing that the whole time to be prepared for, you know, him snapping and knowing what he had already did and attacking her, So could it have
Well,
been?
remember it was a journal that was in her chest. She didn't even realize it was there
That's true.
because she said her sister journaled all the time, and it just was the only thing that stopped the bullet. So then they put a bunch of hot sauce all over her body.
Right, right. Yeah, that's true. It was a journal that stopped the bullet from the gun that had way too many bullets, right? Because I don't ever remember him reloading the gun either. I just remember
It was a revolver, and it
he probably shot that
had
thing.
about 40
He
bullets.
probably shot that thing 40, 50 times that entire movie, and I don't remember him reloading it at all, you know. Um, but let's get down to it, okay? The favorite scene of the movie for you was what?
Favorite scene, favorite scene. I would say between either the puzzle at the beginning, because that was fire.
Okay.
Good way to open it up, get our minds thinking, because like, oh, that's crazy how she was thinking that. And
You talking
the big reveal.
the puzzle to for the invitation or the puzzle that was them figuring out who killed him?
For the invitation
Okay.
because I knew he killed him the whole time. I remember I texted you 25 minutes into the movie. I was like, yeah, this nigga did
No, 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 no. See that, and that's the thing. I don't want the audience to get confused either because he had the show or the whole experience went how Edward Norton wanted it to go, right? And they spent the whole time trying to uncover who killed him at the dinner table, right? They wouldn't even had time to piece together what really happened to the girl that literally actually died, right? Because the whole
Mhm.
point of the invitation was here's an invitation to come solve my murder mystery on who killed me. See you when you get there. So
Yeah,
they're coming over here trying to figure out what is he even talking about? Who killed him? Is he actually going to die? And then they get there and it's solved in 5 seconds, and the rest of
that's
them
why he was mad because he was trying to keep him
that was supposed to keep everybody
not
occupied the
thinking
whole time, and
until the news came out.
that happened, and it pretty much
But
threw everything off.
I would say between the puzzle
Mhm.
opening and when that moment when between Helen getting shot and then you see that she like when they showed that whole backstory, that was like my favorite part of the movie because that was unexpected for me. I would have even never known she had a twin sister. So that piece right there, it was probably like a good 10 minutes of the movie
Mm.
where they're just talking about how she met Benoit Blanc and they came up with this plan to switch identities. And then you see that she wasn't actually dead because at first it looked like she got popped.
Pop,
You
you're
like,
like the whole thing crazy.
yeah, but those two parts.
Um, I'm gonna say mine, and I'll let you lead the way with your least favorite movie. But I think ours is kind of gonna piggyback off each other a little bit because um, right after they did that whole explanation of how the two of them came across one another and what their whole goal was in being there, I just really enjoyed the scene of like all of them realizing after she lights fire to this entire house and now he's going to be responsible for this priceless piece of art no longer existing, right? Uh, they all begin to turn on him and say, I, I don't know what you're talking about. Because now he's going to have to go in a courtroom and explain to people how he let this priceless artifact just explode into a million pieces and never to be seen from again. And he's like, "You guys all saw her do that, right?" And they're like, "No, I
Nope.
have no idea what you're talking about."
I seen you
I,
do
s-
it.
you know, and
We told you not to use that.
so that was like my favorite scene for me, just seeing all of that kind of come into play. On top of just watching everything just explode and her make a V line for the painting. So that was
I ain't gonna hold you. This might make you upset. I was gonna say that was one of my least favorites.
oh okay, okay, I dig it, I dig it.
Let me
Go
explain,
ahead.
because you know I'm a logical
Uh-huh.
thinker. I think logically.
Uh,
Now, what he's referring to is there's this like crystal fossil fuel that they made or whatever, and but it's pretty much like hydrogen gas. So it's like super flammable. So she breaks all this stuff in her house, and everybody, because she finds out she lost. Like the only piece of evidence she had, he lights it on fire, and everybody's like, "Oh, we didn't see anything," and she's like, "Fuck all y'all." And so Benoit Blanc is like, "All I can give you is a little liquor, some courage, and
keep that in mind
there
what he
you
just
go."
said. He burns the only piece of evidence. Everybody tells her they didn't see anything. Not
Yep,
even
she
five
like
minutes
so
later, they all flip and do the same thing back to him. For my favorite part. But go
yeah.
ahead, keep going.
She like so nobody gonna raise your hand, bet. So she just take the little shot and break everything. Then everybody like, okay, whatever. She starts a fire at the bar, and he's like, okay, now you crazy, whatever. She picks up. You see that Benoit had handed her the little piece of crystal fuel that's super flammable, and she just throws it into the fire, and the whole house, like you see fire shoot out the windows, right? Boom. And Benoit Blanc sitting outside with his homie smoking the blunt, like white people. The reason I don't like it is because I'm super logical.
Mhm.
Every person in the house survived. Not one person was even remotely damaged. They should have been barbecued, should have been infernoed, should have been incinerated. Like literally, it was an inferno outside the house. I was like, oh, she killed herself to save her sister. To hell with her kids that she got. She a murderess, but she got revenge on her sister. No, everybody survived. So then they show it back in the house. They, oh, she crazy. She gets up and she beelines, like he said, to the Mona Lisa. And I'm like, now why she gonna fuck up the Mona Lisa? Because it was in a protective case. It was gonna be fine. But um, our boy Miles kept saying he wanted his name to be remembered in the same sentence as the Mona Lisa. So she wanted to like make sure that caught on fire too, since he had it on loan, because she knew that world was gonna be against him at that point. But all that was good. I thought that was a nice recovery. But the biggest part, I couldn't get over the fact that they were supposed to be dead, barbecued, finitoed, and they just
I mean, I think my least favorite scene from the whole movie would probably have to be, just the way they went about her death. Faking, not even faking her death, but okay, everybody got their eyes on this man. Everybody's kind of cautious of where he's at. This gun just, I just don't like how this man dies. Dave Bautista dies in the movie, and then the closest person to him who might have had something to do with it. They sitting here trying to say, how does he just die like that? He's trying to make this case for how somebody was trying to poison him, and then everybody forgets where he is. Nobody notices that the gun this man has had the whole movie is now just up in the air and missing.
Gone.
You know what I'm saying? And then
Big plot.
everybody's
Yeah.
together except for him. You know what I'm saying? Then he comes.
Well, he was running, saying, "Oh, I no, you're not gonna kill me." He was trying to have the perfect cover, like, "Oh, I was running for my life."
It was my lead, and then okay, he gets the gun. He goes and kills her. Okay, are they going to bite their tongue and say they don't know what happened to her too? If he's successful and kills her, like, what does that do? How does you know what I'm saying? Like, how does he get out of that? But again, he's not a very bright cast member, so we can't say that he really had thought it that far out. But it just was not. That was probably my least favorite part of the whole movie, was just him somehow getting a gun, and then him somehow killing her or thinking he would get away with it, and then somehow this little notebook stopping a bullet from killing her. It,
Illogically, right?
he,
But question? Did you know that Miles was an idiot the entire time? I won't lie to you. I didn't realize he was an idiot until it was brought to my attention.
mm, once once he solved that mystery, and once he pointed out that he had paid somebody that type of money, you know, I spent,
To
so
make them
much money to
puzzles.
make this puzzle and to set up this whole solve the death thing. That's kind of when I started to ask some questions, because I'm like, someone of that stature, of that high level of IQ, is typically going to be able to do something like that themselves and wouldn't want to outsource that to anybody. Especially if this is a group of colleagues that you've grown up with and developed, your brand and business with. You would like to specialize it to all of them yourself too. And I feel like once I realized he hadn't did that himself, I'm like, okay. So that
Yeah.
was kind of like the first clue that maybe something's off. And then as the movie went on, you just kind of realize more and more. Like, some of his speeches just didn't even make sense. Like, he's going to do so many different like speeches throughout the movie where he's going to talk about different things, and it won't make a lot of sense. So do do we ask the question now? Okay, we've seen this movie come out two different ways, two similar styles. Uh, we both feel very differently about what we got from both of them. Um,
They had the same budget. They had the same
right,
director. I don't know why they were so different. I mean, you can't have the same who done it, because then we gonna know. We gonna be like, oh well, last time it was this. Then we would have complained that they was too similar. So I do like the fact that they made it different and still entertaining. The first like was done a little better, I would say,
right.
but I find them both entertaining.
We know that there will probably be a third installment of this. If so, what would you like to see in it? Okay. And is there a place you would like it to be kind of set in? Or maybe some characters, some
I
people, some actors that you would like to see in?
I'm gonna give you what's gonna happen, or I'm gonna give who made this movie. Who was this? Ryan
Gonna
Johnson.
write the
I'm gonna
script
give you an
for?
idea.
Okay.
I'm gonna write the script for you. It just came to my head as you asked the question. I promise you this. Benoit Blanc, the world's greatest detective, right?
Mm.
How many people you think he put away?
Probably 40, 50 easily.
But you don't see him. He's not like the action type detective. He ain't James Bond. He's a detective. He's Sherlock Holmes, except he don't fight like Robert Downey Jr. You know.
Right.
So my prediction is somebody is gonna be smarter than Benoit Blanc. They gonna try to jigsaw his ass and frame him for a murder, and he got to figure out who really done it to clear his own name. But he got to also do it while on the lam.
I think that could work, but I just don't. I don't see him possessing the type of you know, finessable characteristics to be able to like if he gets caught, like he's definitely gonna be trying to prove his innocence as anybody does in that situation. But I don't
But
see
it's gonna
him.
be so much evidence against
No, no,
him.
right.
They gonna make it look like he did.
And I agree with that 100%. I think that would be very interesting, but it would you'd have a better chance, I think, of having maybe an understudy that he has prove that it's not him, or his son, or maybe his twin brother or sister prove that it's not him.
Okay.
As
Okay. No,
opposed,
he ain't got no.
and
He
we
ain't
don't
got no
know, we
family in
don't
there.
know, right? You talk about her, they did it in this movie,
You're right.
right? You know, some
But
of
we ain't know her. She was a new character.
again, some people they do it all the time where it's some brother we never even heard of, and they spin it off like that. I just don't see him specifically, his character, being able to evade authorities while proving that he's innocent. He doesn't have a you're not gonna catch me. I'm so confident you're not gonna catch me while I'm running away from you that I'm also gonna try to solve this murder I've been framed for. I don't see him as a character being able to do that.
Well, what if they just have him locked up in a jail cell and he got to solve the murder before, like himself in the jail? That make it even
So, but
harder. But then you got to
what would
figure out
that
what's gonna
script
be
be? What
outside.
would that script look
I
like?
was gonna say what's he gonna have to have
And a confidence, somebody,
a apprentice.
right?
Yeah, you're right.
So
Okay, so what do you want to see from the next one?
I do agree that I would want to. We know it's gonna be another one. I don't. They haven't said it officially, but we know it'll most likely be another one. Um, and I would like to see. I think what you were saying is pretty interesting, but I would like to see it set somewhere like Miami, you know, or New York, because I feel like both of these didn't really like the island aspect of this is really cool. And being on a boat, I thought that was really cool. I just think doing it in a major city like New York or Miami would be just cool for the aesthetics. One, uh, but I predict that there would be a cast of people he's put away that would be doing, framing him for things kind of like how you said, but he would have to figure out who he's already put away, which one of them would have had a role in this new chaotic crime that's been committed. Or maybe bringing some people from the first one and the second one and tying them together. Because I think maybe we would have related to the movie a little bit better if there was more characters from the first one and the second one. But then it's two totally different crimes, so I definitely understand why there wasn't people rolling over from the first one. But
Do you like him better as James Bond or as Benoit Blanc?
I don't think my response would be a fan favorite, but I like him better
You like him?
as the investigator than 007. Yeah, but I'm not a big 007 fan.
Have you watched them all?
Yeah, I'd rather watch Mission Impossible.
All right, that's the end of this podcast. So, what would you rate this? What would you rate Knives Out? What would you rate Glass Onion? Final discussion.
Knives Out for
Out of
me
10.
gives is given 8.5, 9. I enjoyed it that much. Um, the second one, however, Glass Onion, then probably lower on the 6.5 side, 7.
Okay. Now, I don't rewatch movies. I watch a lot of movies, but I rarely rewatch them because I remember them so well. Like I could tell you, you asked me a scene about Top Gun. I only seen it the one time, and I'll probably be able to tell you exactly what I remember from it.
Mm.
So I don't rewatch movies. It's a few franchises that I rarely watch. Fast and Furious, you already know.
Right.
John Wick, of course. Bad Boys, yes. Those in all the Marvel movies, I'll rewatch them. Except the first two Thors, we won't talk about them. Um, Knives Out is to that list. I've seen it a couple of times, and I've recommended it to people because every time I watch it, I'm like, dang, this is a good movie. So anything I rewatch, I do give I won't say anything I'll rewatch. I give that, but if I give it this, I'll rewatch it because a lot of the Fast and Furious is like subpar at best, but I'll rewatch them because they entertain. So that being said, I give Knives Out probably a 8.5, 9, like you said, probably more like 8.7. Let's go in the middle. Glass Onion, I probably have no reason to rewatch this movie. I won't lie to you,
I
but
couldn't agree with you
I won't
more.
say it's bad.
Again,
I give it a 7.5.
I would not say it's a terrible movie, but again, I think there's a lot to be said. And when you guys go watch both of them, you'll feel the same way. You watch, you watch this second one. The whole time you're watching this, ask yourself, if this was the first one I've seen, would I be excited about the second one? And I think most people's answer to that would be no.
But yep, that's episode 1, folks, of Mad Movies. Uh, Glass Onion.